Hey, how's everybody doing on this thankful Testimony Tuesday and Tea Talk Tuesday? I'm your host, Georgia Girl. Over here, you'll see a little bit all from wellness to current events to meal preps to family, self-care, my real life health journey. You'll see a little bit all because I'm an every woman. And today, I want to share about Reverend Jessie Jackson. I have been sharing things about Black History Month. Let me get on camera for a minute. Then I'm going to get into some things about his life. Hey, y'all. Welcome in, welcome in. I see it was some people peeping in the chat, but they didn't give me a thumbs up. Is that fair, guys? Is that fair at all? I don't mind you coming to my chat. If you want to peep, give me a thumb up. And if you want to come in the chat, as long as you're being respectful. Like I said, I'm doing okay. A little sore because I started doing some cardio exercises a couple of days ago. So I'm a little bit sore, but I'm making it. Force me mentally. I'm getting there. I'm still missing my mom, and that I think that gonna always be a part of our journey that I gotta just continue to go through day by day. But other than that, I'm doing okay. Like I said, I'm a little sore from doing some of the cardio exercise, but it's for my health. So this week I've been working with my aunt. We've been doing the cardio exercises in the chair. Probably next week I might try to make some steps or walk a little bit, do what I can. Hey Frank, welcome in. How are you doing? You about to eat dinner? Okay. I've been seeing your shorts. Shout out to Frank, Miss Key. I'm gonna tell you all in it, Frank. Me, you, Sassy, and Parika, and Miss Key. If four of us in it this week. So if you get a chance, check them out, and I'm sure they'll check you out. But yeah, I know you have heard about Reverend Jessie Jackson, right? You know how I do over here, current events. I try to share a little something about it, and I'll be, this part of Black history because he was part of our Black history. Oh yeah, it's four of us: me, you, Sassy, Miss Key, and Parika. You probably know her, right? You probably seen in my chat. She be doing a lot of shorts anyway. She been doing some of the challenges. Sometimes she'll post things on her communal wall, but she let me know that she been, participating. So, yeah. Yeah, did you hear about Reverend Jessie Jackson? I know I'm going to look a little dark because this light I got in this room, I need to put a brighter light. My husband got a dim light. And then my little thing, I don't know what happened to it. Like somebody stepped on the end of it. So I'm going to have to get me another light, try to brighten up the stream. But other than that, I'm doing okay. Yes. So I will be sharing about Reverend Jessie Jackson. I used to hear my mom talk about him a lot. Yeah, it was early morning. Let me bring my computer up so I can't read what for now. Yeah, it was early this morning. I want to believe it. I didn't want to believe it. So for real, I thought you would have been and had one out by now. But yeah, he had been sick for a while. And I'm just going to share some facts and history about his legacy and what he accomplished and things like that. The prayers go out to his family. He been dealing with Parkinson's disease for a long time. I think he had got back sick in November. I'm going to see if my husband can put a lighter bulb up there because it's dark. It look like a real dark. But other than that, I'm doing okay. I did do a video between the shorts. Oh, you did? Okay, I have to check it out. I know I seen your shorts and what you had for breakfast and stuff like that. I see you've been sharing your breakfast and dinners and stuff like that. I see you've been sharing your breakfast and dinners. Yeah, I started on my cardio seated exercise. Ooh, I'm sore. Them arms are sore. That's what them muscles that I ain't been using. I'm using them now. So that's supposed to help with heart health. And then, it'll help strengthen my arms and stuff like that too. So it's a good thing. That help keep me busy. They help keep my mind occupied, Because when I don't be doing that and I get to think about my mom, I get to crying. So I've been doing a lot of things to try to stay busy. I did it before the third short. Okay. I know I seen your short about your oatmeal and bananas this morning. And I see you had put out some more. I try to see everything before, make sure I see the shorts and everything. I might not comment on all of them, but I did see where you had dropped them. But I didn't know you had did something for Jessie Jackson, Reverend Jessie Jackson. A lot of people used to talk about the way how he used to talk. Because when he talked, he always had like a little rhythm, He always, he was a preacher. So, how preachers talk. But I'm going to get into some history about him. Some of the things that he did accomplish while he was on this earth and what he'll be leaving behind, his legacy. If you got you some coffee or dinner, grab it because I'm going to be on talking for, at least an hour or two. At least an hour if I can sit that long because I've been doing some workouts and stuff and woo, I'm a little sore up in here. It's just those muscles. But yes, I'm gonna get into some things about it. My mom used to talk about him a lot too. My mom used to talk about Reverend Jessie Jackson, she liked him. Okay. Gonna get into some things. In this weather, I tell you, it's been warm today. Today felt like a spring day to me. Today felt like a spring day. It felt like a spring day, y'all. I got my little tea here. This is my tea, my second bag of tea for this month. You know, I had got my first batch the other week and I had opened them. So this is second bag right here. And this right here has got mint flavor. And the benefits of it helps with your stomach and different things like that. And it helped me with the inflammation. So I'm going to get into some things about Reverend Jessie Jackson. I think, you know, I was smaller. I was young when he was running for president and things like that. But I see what they said he had ran 2 times. So my commentary today is just going to be sharing some things about the life of Reverend Jessie Jackson. I'm trying to see, can I put a picture up here without leaving the stream? I'm trying to see, can I put it up and put myself up here too? Let's see. Is this going to work? I don't know if y'all can see me down there. Probably ain't going to be able to see me down there. But right here, this is what I'm talking about today. Reverend Jessie Jackson. A lot of people don't know who this is. A lot of people don't know some of the things that he did accomplish. You know, he had some people to criticize him. Some had stuff to say. And you know what? I don't know why people does that. I always say, hold on. If you don't have nothing good to say about anyone, I always say, if you don't have nothing good to say about anyone, if you didn't tell them why they was alive, like they say, in other words, if you didn't give people their flowers while they was alive, don't try to give them to them while they're gone. You have opportunities to love someone, share, be with them while they be alive. You know? So today I want to share about Reverend Jessie Jackson. You know, we have read about him in the history books and have probably heard our parents talk about Jessie Jackson, and you heard comedians talk about the way how he talk and stuff like that. And I will be sharing some of his legacy, sharing about some of the things he did accomplish while he was on this earth. So if you're coming in the chat, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. And if you're peeping in the bushes, I would love to have one also. Thank you, Frank. You say you was eating. Go on and enjoy your dinner. I had some beef liver, brown rice, and I had some toast. That's what I had. But I had a smoothie earlier. Hey, Miss Key, how you doing? I came in your chat when you was live earlier. I'm doing okay. Just a little sore. Woo, child. Moving them muscles that I ain't been moving. Moving them muscles that I have been moving. So I'm gonna be all right. You know, I'm getting adjusted. It's for heart health and joint health. You know, I don't overdo it. I don't try. I know some people be really going fast with it. I go at my own speed and everything. Oh, you did? Okay. Yeah, I've been recording them. I've been doing them and recording them, but I'm just so sore up here across my arms. I'm going to do them all week. I got 7 days. I think my last day will be Saturday. And if it be warm next week, I probably walk some. All of that is good for heart health and joint health too. So I have to do something to keep my mind, busy, keep me from wondering and stressing and thinking about my mom. So that I've been busy these last few days. Yeah, I came in your chat. I said you probably was just having to run. when you did you still alive now? But I want to talk about Reverend Jessie Jackson. He passed away today. You know, he had been sick off and on. So I'm just going to read some stuff about his history. I mean, you know, his life and things like that. He was born, Reverend Jessie Jackson was born October 8th, 1941. He died February the 17th, 2026. He was born in Greenville, South Carolina, but he died in Chicago, Illinois. Okay. I'm just reading some things about him. His children, he got 5 kids. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, he got 6 children. Wow, 1, 2, 3, 4. So he got 6 children. He had 6 children. Reverend Jessie Jackson had 6 children. And he was still married to his spouse, Jacqueline Jackson. They got married in 1968. Wow. I'm just reading some of his bio. He attended school in Chicago, 1964. My mom used to talk about Jessie Jackson all the time. And he was a Democrat. He was part of the Democratic Party. So I'm just going to read some little things about him. Who was Jessie Jackson? He was a renowned activist. Reverend Jessie Jackson had received numerous honors for his work in human and civil rights and nonviolent social change. In 1991, the U.S. Post Office put his likeness on a postal cancellation, only the second living person to receive such an honor. Wow. I didn't know that. He was on a stamp. I didn't know that. It was in 1991. So right here, in 1984, Jessie Jackson became the second African American after Shirley Chisholm to mount to a nationwide campaign for president of the United States. He was running as a Democrat. Hey, how are you doing? Yes, today is Happy Thankful Tuesday, Tea Talk Tuesday, Testimony Tuesday. We're all thankful for it all. But today I want to share about Reverend Jessie Jackson. May he rest in peace. I'm just reading some of his legacy and some of the things that he did accomplish. I didn't know he had a stamp in 1991. In 1984, he ran for president. He was the first one to run, black man to run for president. And it was in 1984. Like I said, we have read about him in school. I have heard my mom talking about him. How your day been, First Lady? I've been doing okay. I've been trying to do some exercises. Ooh, I'm a little sore, but it'll probably wear out after a while because I'm using muscles that I ain't been using. I'm doing okay. I was able to, I thank God for waking me up this morning. I was able to get up. After I did my little cardio yesterday, I said, "Ooh, I'm a little sore." I really started doing my cardio over the weekend. That's when I first started doing it. But I started recording it yesterday. And I'm a little sore, but this is for what I'm doing this for is my heart health and for my health. So I'm gonna try to see, can I do it a little bit, see how long I can last. But I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. I'm thankful for a new day. I'm thankful that God was able to wake me up this morning. Like I said, this is Testimony Tuesday, but I'll be doing Testimony Tuesday once a month. Instead of doing Testimony Tuesday every Tuesday, I'll be doing it once a month because I'll be doing like tea time. I'll be doing other stuff on Tuesday too. So, but we're thankful every day for his grace and mercy. Yeah, that first couple of days you're gonna hurt, especially if you haven't did. Yeah, it do. I'm a little sore. My husband saw me when I was like, he was talking about how long you gonna do that? I said, I'm gonna try to see if I do it for a little while once my body get adjusted. Now when it come down to my legs, it's gonna be real tricky because you know I be in pain when it dealing with my leg. One of my shoulders is not as strong as the other one, but that's why I take my time doing it. Yeah, because I have been stressing. I gained my weight back and I got to get back on track. And I got to focus on what I got to do. My doctor said I need to get this, my heart, I got to let my heart stay healthy. So this is part of my plan. Y'all just pray for me. So y'all heard about Reverend Jessie Jackson? I know y'all is probably younger than me because I don't really know him. You know, I used to hear my mom talk about him. Y'all probably heard y'all parents talking about, yes, y'all probably heard your grandparents or your parents talking about Reverend Jessie Jackson. You might have heard your teachers, maybe your preachers, because he was a preacher. You probably heard people talking about, you probably heard people talking about Reverend Jessie Jackson and some of the things that he accomplished while he was on this earth. And like I said, he was born in October and he died today. He was born October the 8th, 1941 in Greenville, South Carolina. He died February the 17th. He was 84 years old in Chicago, Illinois. So prayers go out to his family because he does have 6 children and he have a wife and he have a host of, got friends, family that, that are going through mourning today. He was really well known. He was part of the Democratic Party. He won numerous awards and because he was for the human and civil rights, nonviolent social change. Hey, Frank again. And did y'all know he was on the stamp? Did y'all know that he was on a postal stamp? Yeah, he did. 84. My mom was 2 years older than him. I didn't know that he had a stamp. He was on a postal stamp, guys. That's a lot. That mean a lot, And then in 1984, he was the second African American after Shirley Chisholm to run for president. He was part of the Democratic Party. Do anybody know his famous quote? Yes. Do anybody know his famous quote? I'm doing a little trivial question right now. Do anybody know what he used to say all the time? You didn't know that? I know, like you, Miss Key. I know what it is, even though I was young, but I used to hear a lot of people talking about what he used to say. Frank, do you know what he used to say? What is his favorite saying? Do anybody know? What was Jessie Jackson's famous quote? I think the last time I saw him was last year. Yeah, he been sick for a while. What was his favorite quote, y'all? Y'all want to know what his favorite quote was? And what his campaign stood on? And I think that Barack Obama, he really paved the way for him because Barack Obama took on some of the things that he was trying to do. Hey, Miss April, how you doing? I am somebody. Yep. You doing okay? You doing all right? I was just up here just talking about, I didn't know he was on a postal stamp. He ran for president, and they said in 1984, Jesse Jackson became the second African American after Shirley Chisholm to mount a nationwide campaign for president of the United States, running as a Democrat. I'm doing okay. You know, I have my days, but you know, I'm trying to just maintain. Oh, you said if you fall behind, run faster. Okay. So right here they said Jesse Jackson, 1984 presidential campaign. He was a Democratic Party. He withdrew. I don't know how long did he stay. You know he ran for president? Okay. Yeah, he withdrew. He stayed in there a little while. Let me see what they say. In the primaries, Jackson, who had ridden off by pundits and French candidate with little chance of winning the nomination. Oh, okay. He didn't win in nomination. He won 5 primaries, caucuses, Louisiana, the District of Columbia, South Carolina, Virginia, and won 2 separate contests. Okay. No, he didn't win the nomination, but he did. He ran twice, y'all. Thank you for being a member for 21 months. I appreciate you. So let me see what his favorite quote. This is what they say his favorite quote is. America is not like a blanket, one piece of unbroken cloth, the same texture, the same size. America is more likely a quilt, many patches, many pieces, many colors, many sizes, all woven and held together by a common thread. I like that. I like that. Thank you, Miss Key. Did I see a super chat, y'all? Mickey, you might want to hear my song. You want to hear my song, Mickey? Thank you. But he was well known, you guys. He was well known. I see Donald Trump had said something about him this morning. I said, what? I was shocked to see that. I was shocked to see that, what he said about him. I gotta find my thing, you know. But thank you again. I'm gonna play the song in a minute when I locate it. Yep. He was well known for his favorite saying about keep hope alive. I'm somebody. He used to say that all the time. To me, he had like a little rhythm to his voice. You know, like he always would rhyme when he say something like to me. And you know, he had like a different tone in his voice. And people used to laugh, like the comedians and stuff. They used to talk about the way he talked and stuff like that. But this is my... I thought I seen a super chat. A super chat. I did. I got a super chat. So thank you. I thought I seen a super chat. I did. I got a super chat. Thank you again, Miss Key. But he did accomplish a lot. I'm going to go and thank y'all for being members. Miss April, thank you for being a member. Y'all make sure y'all check my members out. Miss April, she be doing a lot of things on her channel. I'm sure she have talked about Jesse Jackson because she talk about current events and things that going on in the news. And she's also a 2-time breast cancer survivor. And she's been doing a lot of different things on the channel. She liked to help people grow and things. I met her a few years back. She an older lady like me, and we deal with health issues, but we try to keep her going. Yeah, so these are some of the things that he would say, y'all. If you fall behind, run faster. Never give up, never surrender, and rise up against the odds. Fear it is pushing hope back. It's pushing courage back. Death is taking the joy of life. Dope is outstanding, outdistancing hope. If there are occasions when my grape turned into a raisin and my joy bell lost its reasonings, please forgive me. Charge it to my head and not to my heart. So he was known for some of the powerful saying, and they always was positive. Reverend Jessie Jackson is known for the powerful quotes on hope, equality, perseverance, famously urging people to keep hope alive. I know I used to hear that a lot. Let's keep hope alive. He ran for president, trying to, back in the 80s, I was still in school. I finished school in 87. I finished school in 87. I remember people used to be saying, keep hope alive. Let's keep hope alive. Back then, I'm not saying, no, we were going through some things back then in the 80s. And then it was some things we was doing pretty good. And, there were some things that he wanted to change. But they wasn't ready for a black president back then. They wasn't ready for a black president. They wasn't ready for one back then. But he went on and stayed in for a little while, but he withdrew. But he ran again, though. He was trying to make some changes. So let's see. Let's see some of the things that he accomplished. He died this morning around family. He had been dealing with Parkinson's disease. He had been having issues. I know they said back in November, he was that's when he got back sick. But I remember him when Barack Obama, I don't know if y'all seen how they kept the camera on him. When Barack Obama won the president, they showed Reverend Jessie Jackson. He was crying. He was crying. He really was. He was crying because he see that Barack Obama accomplished what he tried to do. And when Barack Obama won president, it paved the way. It changed a lot. He went on, he based his campaign on hope also. So I know he was glad that he was able to see a black man become president because he fought it for it. He fought it to try to be it. Like I said, a lot of people probably didn't, I'm just going to say this. People going to feel a way about you no matter who you are. They still feel a certain way about you. Whether Reverend Jessie Jackson accomplished whatever he had to accomplish, and maybe he had some critics, he had some people to say he did pretty good, and there are going to be some people saying what he didn't do. But I've been reading some good things about him. Been a lot of people been doing tributes of him and things like that. So I'm trying to see what was his illness. Okay. Okay, y'all know he died today at age 84 following a battle with progressive supranuclear palsy, PSP, a rare degenerate brain disorder previously diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. In 2017, his condition was referred to as PSP in April of 2025. Diagnosed in April 2025, that's when he was diagnosed with PSP. Uh-huh. It was a degenerate disease that affect movement, balance, and muscle control. Previous condition he had previously announced of diagnosis of Parkinson's diseases in 2017, which shares similar symptoms with PSP. So he had been sick for a long time. He had been dealing with this disease for a long time. Because I remember seeing him. Oh, yeah. They showed him when Kamala Harris was running for president. I don't know if that was his son. He couldn't be by himself. You could tell that his illnesses had started getting the best of him then. But prayers going out to the family. Now I'm fixing to read about, I'm reading some of the articles, and most of the articles are acknowledging him to be an icon, a leader. I haven't seen nothing too negative, but it's going to be some people because they always do when people pass, people always got something to say. And I always say, if you don't have nothing good to say about somebody while they're living, don't wait till they die and try to say this and that. If you want to be there for someone, do it while they're living. Don't wait until somebody died and want to say, oh, he did this. Because I did read an article where they said he had a child out of wedlock. I guess he had a child while he was still married to his wife. I had read that on an article today. I'm like, okay, people, you don't have to put that in the front of a page. I'm sure everybody knew that he had an outside child, but that ain't the point. That ain't what he was. That's not what he want his legacy to be. Yes, I had an outside child. Okay. But the things that he did to accomplish in the world, that's what really gonna have to stand out. So he had been dealing with this PSP for a long time. It got to the point where he couldn't hardly walk. He couldn't do things by himself. So, but he does have a legacy left behind. And I'm going to read some of his legacy. I'm here, y'all. I think y'all still hear me. I have seen a lot of tributes about him. He also was working with Martin Luther King. He also was with him also. They had the same goals, the same they wanted to keep hope alive. They both wanted things to be non-violent. They was trying to change where people wouldn't have to be living in the world the way they was living. So right here, I'm just going to read some of the things that he did accomplish while he was in the political field. There's a Reverend Jessie Jackson from 1941 to 2026 was a towering civil rights leader, politician, a minister who shifted politics, social justice over 60 years. He championed the Rainbow Push Coalition, mobilized millions of voters, and shattered barriers in historic 1984 and 1988 presidential runs that paved the way for Barack Obama. And that's what I just said. He paved the way for Barack Obama. He ran 2 times. Reverend Jesse Jackson ran in 1984 and 1988. His key pillars of his legacy: a political trailblazer, his 1984 and 1988 presidential campaign featuring the Rainbow Coalition concept brought progress issues to the forefront and established a blueprint for minority political success. Civil rights and activist. As a direct lieutenant of Martin Luther King Jr., he was a relentless organizer of boycotts, sit-ins, and demonstrations for over 60 years, fighting for labor, education, and voting rights. So he was he was kind of young when he was with Martin Luther King. So he was doing a lot of things for the help keep things organized. I guess when they was having their marches and things they was trying to accomplish, he would be one of the ones to help make sure things would turn out good. This is a conscience of the nation known for bridging divide across race, class, and gender. He was a powerful negotiator for human rights, including the 1984 release of a United States Airmen in Syria. Economic justice. Through the Rainbow Push, he pressured cooperation to adopt exclusive hiring practices and increase opportunities for Black-owned businesses. Wow. Jackson's legacy is defined by his ability to create productive tension that forced change, advocating for the marginalized until his passing in February 2006. So he was a trailblazer. He worked with different races, and one thing he was trying to make sure that everybody was able to be able to vote. Everybody have opportunities to own their businesses, especially the Black-owned businesses. He was there for that. So a lot of people have been sending out. I'm going to get on camera. A lot of people have been sending out a lot of tributes, and the NAACP, Reverend Sharp. There's a lot of them. He touched a lot of people, and he leave a legacy behind. Let me see how him and Martin Luther King, what did they do? Read some more about that. Okay. Although King hardly knew Jackson, he took a chance and hired him. Wow. In January 1966, Martin Luther King moved to Chicago to launch the SCLCS Northern Movement. Jackson soon dropped out the seminary to help King full time, becoming the Chicago coordinator of SCLC Economic Development and Empowerment Program, Operation Breadbasket. So, like I said, he was an organizer. After he didn't finish the presidential bid, so he decided to go and help Martin Luther King. That was still great. So they're saying Trump, Biden, others all paying tribute to Jesse Jackson. That's on the right. Pay respects to people, It would have looked funny if he hadn't said anything. So these is just some pictures of Reverend Jesse Jackson. That's one right there. It was like in his younger day. He was wearing that little afro. He was wearing that little afro back then. Yep. So he was known to be a leader, an icon. Let me see some. And he will be truly missed. He have made a mark on this earth. Like I said, we used to hear about him in school. And we used to hear him talk about some of the things that he did accomplish and things like that. So they were saying even after Martin Luther King died, Reverend Jesse Jackson still continued with his message. He still was trying to reach across the aisles to different areas and things what need to be talked about. And he still got that rainbow push thing. It's still going on. So they're saying decades after Martin Luther King, he still continued to share the message by keep hope alive and, trying to stop all the violence and stuff like that. So right here, they said Jesse Jackson witnessed Martin Luther King Jr. assassination. Here's how he carried the torch for the civil rights movement into the future. He had emerged as a leader of 1960, a champion uniting among marginalizing groups across the United States. Wow. So was he at the place where Martin Luther King died? Wow. I'm just reading some little areas in here. He's from he was born in North Carolina, Greenville, North Carolina. That's where my dad from. They're probably gonna be a lot. They probably gonna have like a public. They probably gonna have like a big public funeral for him because he ran for president 2 times. He was a civil rights leader, a humanitarian. He did a lot. He did a lot. Okay, I'm just reading something. So some of the things he also did was he led protests to disintegrate theaters and restaurants in Greensburg. Okay. So he was really out there. He was in the movement. He was out there, y'all. So he's known as a icon. I'm trying to get off of here for a minute. These are just some of the pictures I had put on my thing. Okay. Him and that when he was younger, him and Martin Luther King. Like I said, he was an organizer for him. He helped set up things for them when they was getting ready to march and things like that. Anyway, these just some pictures that I was they're just my part of my thumbnail right there. But I'm here. But I just want to share, like I said, I had been sharing some things about Black history. And so when I found out this morning, hey Frank, when I found out this morning, most people was against Jesse Jackson when he was living. Yeah. A lot of people didn't like what he stood for. And hold up for a minute, I gotta go out and come back in. Can you hear me? Yeah, like I said, he did a lot, he accomplished a lot, but he probably had a lot of critics. You know how that goes. You know how that goes. I've been reading a lot of people been doing some tributes, and some people been saying some good things about him, and then he probably had some critics. He had some critics now. Cause like I said, I was saying earlier, I read an article where they said that where he had a child out of wedlock. And I'm like, really? They didn't even have to put that on there. Because he got 5 children, but one of them wasn't with his wife, right? I'm like, they ain't even really had to put that out there. Even though people probably already knew, because I think it was in the paper about, I think I remember hearing something about where he had an outside child. But that's what I thought. That was one of the articles I seen. I'm like, really, people? They said Reverend Jesse Jackson did march with Martin Luther King Jr., becoming a key figure in the civil rights movement during the 1960s. He joined the 1965 Voting Rights March from Selma to Montgomery and was a staffer for the Southern Christian Leadership Conference of the SCLC. Okay. So he did march with him. The key details of their connection was active participation. Jackson was involved in various campaigns, including directing Operation Breadbasket in Chicago for the SCLC. President in 1968, he was with King in Memphis, Tennessee on April the 4th, 1968, when a civil rights leader was assassinated. Wow. He was with him when he got assassinated, y'all. He was with him when he got assassinated. I didn't know that. So I'm finding out something myself. Even though I probably have read it, but sometimes when you go back and look at stuff, you don't really pay attention to it at first, but then you think about it. I'm like, oh, okay. So he was with him when he when Martin Luther King got killed. Wow. So legacy, Jackson continued to work in civil rights for decades following King's death, after citing his time with King as pivotal, influential period. Wow. So he was still married to his wife after all those years. After all those years, he was still married to his wife. And, whatever he did or whatever he didn't do, she stuck with him. Even through, had him having, an outside child, she was still with him. So, yeah. He played football. He played football too. I'm just reading some of his biography. But he really paved the way for Barack Obama. And I think that's why he cried so hard. I think that's why he was shedding all those tears when they announced that Barack Obama had won. They showed him out there with all those people out there, and his tears were just going out his eyes, just falling out his eyes. He was still getting around back then when Barack Obama won for president. But the condition he had him where, he couldn't hardly, he was messing with his joints and stuff where he couldn't get around and stuff like that. So prayers going out to the family. They're going to be probably talking about this for a long time, for a few days anyway. And it probably, his funeral probably going to be, I don't know. They probably televise it. I don't know. They might televise it. That's what I'm thinking. That they might do that. And then again, we don't know. So he witnessed all that. But he still, after all that what happened to Martin Luther King, he still was able to continue to fight. He was still trying to, spread the word. He was still trying to keep hope alive and try to fight for non-violence and stuff like that. Because in the 80s, like I said, I finished school in the 80s, and it was kind of rough, but it ain't as bad as it is now. The last time I seen him, he was in a wheelchair. Is that the time when Kamala Harris was running for president? I think I seen him on TV one time. And, he wasn't walking, I think he was in a chair. Hey, Living for Jesus. How are you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. I'm doing okay. I still have my days, but I'm doing okay. Doing okay. I was just talking about Reverend Jessie Jackson, just speaking on his legacy and the things that, he tried to accomplish and things that he did accomplish. He was nonviolent. He was all for nonviolence. He was for people voting, getting people to get out and vote. He was always speaking on keep the hope alive. He marched with Martin Luther King. He was there. He witnessed Martin Luther King getting assassinated. So he ran for president twice. I'm doing okay. I had lost my mom a week before Christmas, and mentally it had really took a toll on me, but I've been trying to maintain. I've been trying to focus more on my health. I had to do some things now, try to make sure my heart stay healthy and still dealing with that inflammation. So I've been trying to do some little cardio exercise because my doctor want me to make sure my heart keep flowing pretty good. Just trying to keep my heart healthy. Still been trying to eat right, but it's a challenge. But mentally, I done came a long way. I still grieving for my mom, but I'm trying to live and try to continue to keep going. So how's you and the girls? How y'all been doing? How the girls been doing? They been doing okay? He could barely talk. I know. And he like I said, he used to have a good little tone, good little rhythm to his voice and stuff. I used to like to hear him talk Because when he talked, he was serious about some of the stuff he was saying, But other than that, live with Jesus, I'm hanging in there. Yeah, I'm praying for you, your family. Your mother was a child of God. Yeah, and she with him now. Yes, she is. It'll be 2 months on the 19th. Yeah, it's been hard for me, but I just been trying to continue to ask God to make me stronger. If I sit down and just don't be doing something, I get sad. I get to crying, but I'm okay because I know she is with the Lord. But it was just hard. It was just hard, y'all. Ooh, it's still hard. I got stuff at the house that just make me just think about her all day long. I was where I could hardly look at her picture, but now I'm getting where I can look at her picture a little bit more, a little better now. But the tears are still there. But I've been trying to. My main focus right now is staying focused on my health because after I said I had an ultrasound did on my heart 2 weeks ago, and they were saying I had my left side of my heart is enlarged a little bit. But my doctor was telling me, just try to work on trying to make sure my heart stay healthy. So I've been trying to do things, trying to change up on things and do more exercise because I don't want I don't want to end up with heart failure. So if I have to let go a lot of stuff, that's what I'm doing. It's hard, but I can do it. My girls are still getting on my nerves. But I love them. I know that's right. Love on your babies, girl. Love on your babies. That's how my grandkids is. They been checking on me and be like, "Mama, you okay? It gonna be okay, Grandma." They don't like to see me crying and being sad. And excuse me. Imagine the glory and wonderful things she is seeing with the Lord and no pain and joy always in him. Yeah. And that is so true. My mom was in pain a lot. She really was. I heard her cry just about every day. And I used to wonder, I used to be like, Mama, what's wrong? What can I do? But she was 86. She died in her sleep. She died at home. I done got a little better because when I first came out to YouTube after she died, I couldn't even be on camera and talk about it. But now I'm getting a little stronger. The tears still there now, but I'm managing. And I know she won't want me to be sitting here not taking care of myself because, she know I deal with pain too. And me and her used to be over there talking about, ooh, my leg, no, they hurt. She'll say, ooh, my knee, no, they hurt too. I miss it though. Lord knows I do. But, I got to try to continue to keep the faith and, just keep hanging in there. But it's good to see you. Yep. But yeah, I was just speaking on Jessie Jackson. I'm making dinner. Just got my husband. I'm making dinner. Okay, my husband just. All right, it's good to see you. You been making any cakes over there? Been making any cakes and pies? I know you like to make little desserts. Have you been making anything lately? It's good to see you. Those kids, did y'all get in the snow? Did y'all get in the snow during the time when it was snowing? I see Frank. I see y'all had got plenty of snow where you stay, Frank. I see you had got plenty of snow. Making cabbage rolls. Okay, that sounds good. I had some beef liver. Liver is good for your blood and stuff like that. I had beef liver and brown rice and some toast. Yeah. I gotta put them sweets down. Listen, it's plant-based or something like that. Cause I'll tell you, I messed up so bad eating that cake and stuff. I got to avoid food would give me inflammation. And when my mom passed, it's just like I just said, I just, because I'm an emotional eater. And I was letting my emotions, I was letting the food, trying to make the food, thought food was gonna help me, but it didn't help me. It ended up hurting me. So now I'm back on track, getting back on track with everything. Yep. But I thank God for His grace and mercy for giving me a chance to continue to just give me a chance for life. And I'm just gonna do all I can and stay strong and do what I need to do. And it's hard. That sound good though, cabbage roll. Cabbage roll sound good. I'm gonna have to get me a brighter light in this room. That's light right there, dark, ain't it? Because it got my camera looking so dark.
Yeah. I ain't got no
white. I'm gonna have to get me a bright. Cause
you got about on whiteboard.
Look, somebody must stepped on my end of my thing because this thing here is a light, right?
I ain't got no more.
Okay. It won't even fit in my computer. I believe somebody stepped on the end of it. And I'm gonna have to get me another light for my thing. But I'm gonna have to get a brighter light because it got my camera looking like it got me looking real dark. My family want me to make a caramel pie, but I'm not going to do it until I have a child. I told them my birthday came right after all that. It's just like I just wasn't feeling it, but I told them I don't want to look at no more cake, no pound cake, none of that stuff. Pies, none of it. So my husband, I'm through with that right now. But it's a bad thing, girl. It's a bad thing. But other than that, I'm hanging in there. Grace of God, I'm hanging in there. And I was just speaking on Jesse Jackson and stuff, speaking on some of the things, his legacy, what he was all about. He was trying to continue to fight for people to vote. That's why I say it's important to go vote, y'all. If you're able to vote for things, go vote. If you're able to go to your communities and talk about things that need to be done in your community, that's what you vote for. Especially if things ain't going right, And they fought hard for us to get those voting rights. They was out there marching. I guess it gone. Him and Martin Luther King, they marched on that Selma Bridge and all these different places for us to be able to get those voting rights and stuff. And a lot of people don't realize how important the vote is. I'm a registered voter. I voted I voted in just about all the presidential thing. I didn't vote this last. I voted. Yeah, I did vote this time because I voted for Kamala Harris. But I didn't. But when Trump won the first time, I didn't vote for him then either. But I don't have nothing against nobody who voted for him. That was your choice. I think my husband liked me fluffy because he brought me what? My husband bought me some candy too. I said, now look at him. I said, I'm supposed to be eating it. he bought you a 2-pound box of chocolate from Russell so long for Valentine's Day. He's trying to sabotage. I know it. I had some candy too, but I didn't eat all mine. I think I got a couple of pieces. And then he ended up eating it. I said, I'm supposed to be eating it. But dark chocolate supposed to be healthy now. Dark chocolate, dude. They said dark chocolate supposed to be healthy. Yep. Because I had made those kids some candy bags. I said, it ain't for me. Y'all can have it. But, we human, though. We are human. We learn as we go. like I said, sometimes we fall down, but we have to get back up. Yep. You been with you? Yeah.
They don't bully.
No. Put some on it. Just put. You see that olive oil I got in there? That kind of like you can put some of that on there. But you remember when Jessie Jackson used to be saying, "Keep hope alive." These no, that was what's called you say float like a butterfly. That was Muhammad Ali said that. But Jessie Jackson, Reverend Jessie Jackson used to say, "Keep hope alive. I am somebody." And Lord, they still ain't found that little lady yet, y'all. Lord have mercy, Jesus. They ain't found that little lady yet. The little lady what been missing all this while. They still ain't found that little lady. Lord, what did happen to the little lady, y'all? They just break my heart. And she 80-something years old. They said she ain't got her medicine. Whoever got her, she ain't got her medicine or nothing. Now they trying to see if they can track her through her pacemaker. Hey, how you doing? Life with Sharon? You doing all right? Good to see you. I'm all right. I'm a little sore because I've been trying to do some cardio exercise. I've been doing it last few days for heart health. Like I said, yeah, I'm a little sore from doing it. Just those muscles that I ain't been using. It was made. Oh, you think somebody that did it know her? It's something about that ain't right though. I said it's somebody that in the family did that to her. That's what I'm thinking. It's good to see you, Fugal Mama. I still say Fugal Mama. It's good to see you. But yes, I've been doing some cardio, sitting down, and been trying to work with these arms. My doctor said he want me to keep my heart flowing pretty good. So he put me on a different health plan. I got to do some cardios a day. I got to take some big old vitamins for heart health. Because, like I said, I had the ultrasound done. My left side of my heart is a little large. So he said he don't want me to end up with heart failure. So when he told me that, I said, I got to do what I got to do. So I've been trying to eat right, start by eating right, which has been challenging, and take my vitamins and trying to get some little exercise in. And because he said he want my heart to keep flowing pretty good. Because he said, I don't want you to end up with heart failure. You know, he's saying right now my heart, you know, they can see on the ultrasound how it is, but it can get bigger. And I'm trying not to stress so much. Like I said, I lost my mom. It took a toll on me because I have anxiety real bad. So, and I know there was a lot of pressure on my heart too, but I'm hanging in there though. You say you don't trust the sister and the husband. Now they claim that everybody in the family is cleared. They said they don't think nobody in the family did it. But yeah, I'm gonna start. I do testimony Tuesdays every month now. Yeah, I don't do them every Tuesday like I used to, unless I have a time to do it. But other than that, I'm hanging in there, hanging in here. And I just want to come on and talk about Reverend Jessie Jackson, and I think that he leaving a mark on this world. He is leaving a mark on this world with some of the things that he did accomplish and some of the things that he tried to accomplish. I think the sister and the husband would hire somebody for real. Lord have mercy, Jesus. But I know they said she been off of medicine. The little lady been off of medicine for the last 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, and prayers going out to her. That's sad, real sad, real sad. But they say they doing some they checking out the DNA right now. Cause they found the glove or something, right? They found the glove. And I guess they trying to get the DNA from the glove and whatever it was on the house. Savannah's the only one I think is what? What about what the talk show host's name? You think she had something to do with it too? Mm. It's sad, y'all. It's all about money, though. All about money. All about money. That's what, they said money is the root of all evil, and that's true. Why they gonna go get that little lady? Trying to get money out of her daughter, whoever got the money. That's what they trying to do. But I wasn't gonna be on too long. Like I said, I'm a little bit sore because I ain't been, I'm just be honest, I haven't been doing that much exercise, and now I can feel it all up in here. I can feel it all up in here because I've been doing the cardios, right? Woo. This shoulder here, I had to go real slow because of that shoulder right now. But I'm just trying, they want me to do at least 10 to 15, minutes a day or 30 minutes if I can go. He just want me to do it for a little while, trying to make sure get my heart flow back where it need to be, make sure my blood pressure is staying down. Now it's down some, but it hadn't went up. Like I said, I was real stressed about my mom. Me and my mom like this. I was with her just about every day. And when she passed, a part of me just went. And it's still hard now, but I done came a long way from where I was. I'm getting my garden stuff ready. I'm already okay. Oh, okay. You don't do no videos, do you? Are you gonna let us see what you growing? That one thing about me, I can't grow no. My dad, he does the gardening. I'm telling you, me, I ain't no green thumb. I can't grow no flowers. I mean, I cannot grow no garden. I leave that up to my dad and everybody else. I have flowers from what they gave me from my mom's funeral. I've been, trying to keep that watered and, make sure I'm taking care of it. Yeah. I still got my mom Christmas presents in there. Because I had wrapped my mom Christmas present up and I didn't even get a chance. Now I'm getting emotional now. My mom didn't even get a chance to open up a Christmas present because she died a week before Christmas. And everybody keep asking me, what you gonna do with the presents? What you gonna do? I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm thinking about just letting them stay there till next Christmas, put them up on the tree. I think I'm gonna just put them up on the tree for a little while till I can, and I haven't even went back. I peeped in my mom's room, but I haven't just been in there and sat down or anything like that. I just ain't got there yet. But I got a flower for her to put on her grave because she'll be gone 2 months on the 19th. No, I'm in a little group where I'm able to talk about grieving and stuff like that. So I'm getting there. Yep. But anyway, today I want to just, honor and talk about Reverend Jessie Jackson and, what he meant to the world and the legacy he leaves behind, He had 6 children, and I'm not sure if any kids follow his footsteps, with the politics or whatever. But I think I remember seeing one of his children that got in trouble before. I think I read that somewhere. But he is well known. Reverend Jesse Jackson is well known. And he getting a lot of tributes and a lot of people saying things about him, what he meant to them. And I mean, it's good to know that you could have an impact on people when you leave the world, Because I like how my daughter and my nephews went up there and spoke about my mom. Because my mom had gave all the grandkids a nickname. Whenever a child was born in our family, my mom had a name for them. And my nephew and my daughter got up there at the funeral and they spoke on my mom and they was talking about the names my mom used to call them. I have to get my cabbage rolled out. Okay, sweetie. I will probably be off in the next few minutes, but it's good to see you. Go on and see about them cabbage rolls now. Don't you go have to find something else to cook. It was good seeing you. Take care of you and the girls. Y'all take care. It was good seeing you too, Frugal Mama. I see you still doing your thing over there. One day I'm going to get brave like you and just get out there and punch real fast. I'm doing like this. I have to go slow with mine. But my speed picking up a little bit. See, the more I do, they say that'll help my heart flow, help pump that blood up there in my heart. But, it's all right here. I already was so anyway, but that's why yeah, but Figure Baba, she be getting it over there. She be getting it. Yeah. So they'll probably be talking about Reverend Jesse Jackson for the next few days. Woo. Maybe they'll start talking about the Epstein. What the man name? Epstein. Every time you turn on the news, you hear them talking about that man. That man supposed to be dead now. Oh, Jesus. Yep. His health really had declined on him. Reverend Jesse Jackson. Yeah. I bet that was a lot to see. Martin Luther King being assassinated, being there and stuff. But anyway, I just came on for this and talk about Reverend Martin Luther King. He is part of our history, guys. He's part of our Black history. And, you can read things about him, he probably had his good days, his bad days, but he knew what he stood for. He knew what his legacy will continue to be. Sure, his children and grandkids, they knew what he stood for. They know what he liked and what he didn't like. And I'm sure they will continue to find ways to keep his legacy alive. Like I said, I just found that out that he had a postal stamp. I didn't even know that. Though I said when you get to doing research and looking up stuff, you get to finding all types of stuff. I knew he had tried to run for president one time. I didn't know he tried to run for president twice. So he tried to run for president 2 times. But I guess back then they weren't ready for no Black president. He didn't stay in that long, but he did took the opportunity to be able to go and try, So he paved the way for Barack Obama. He really did. He paved the way because no one would never thought that a man of color would have been president. So I'm sure that Barack Obama does see it in that way that, and like I tell children these days, you could be whatever you want to be. Just put your mind to it. Continue to keep God first in everything you do. So I'm gonna get ready to get off of here. So I was just, like I said, I was just sharing a little bit about him, and I'll probably come back tomorrow, do a little wellness. And I'm like, ooh, I gotta go and soak a little bit. Like I said, I've been trying to do some exercise for my heart health. Just a little sore, but I'm gonna be all right. I think the first couple of days, when we try to start doing exercise, the first few days you're gonna always be a little sore, but after a while, it probably won't bother me too much. Let's see. So I'm just trying to check out some. I don't know who's live now, but I know the ones that came in the chat. Y'all make sure y'all check out their channels. We had Life with Sharon came in here. We had Frank G. We had Miss Key Kitchen and More, one of my members. First Lady, one of my members. We had Living for Jesus, Mother too. She came in here. Who else came in here? Everyone that came in today, I do appreciate them so much. Y'all make sure y'all check them out. We're doing 3 short videos a day. You know, these are just challenges we still do every year. So I just had started back a week ago because the first couple of weeks I wasn't on. Y'all make sure y'all check them guys out. I was trying to see what Barack Obama said about him. Trump. Really? What? These people gonna say Trump uses civil rights leader Jesse Jackson death to attack Obama. What you even said now, Lord Jesus? What? Why they said that? That President Trump used the death of civil rights activist Jesse Jackson to take a cheap shot at a former president, Barack Obama, and to pat himself on the back for not being racist. Okay, Donald Trump. Okay. Lord, it ain't about you. It's not all about you. It's about Reverend Jesse Jackson. All right, sweet. Okay, I just served my kids dinner. They're like hungry. Lord, they couldn't wait to get that dinner, huh? Mm. I know you say you with Trump, right? I'm asking you a question. Do you think he a racist? Do you think Donald Trump a racist? If you're still in the chat, living for Jesus. I know you said you support him, but do you think he a racist? That's the question people want to know. Do you think Donald Trump is a racist? So why he gonna use? I think he is stupid like most politicians. Okay. Did you know of Jesse Jackson though? Did you know of Jesse Jackson? I'm just reading this article right here. Oh, he's just saying he knew Jesse Jackson well. Then what Donald Trump had, he made a statement by Reverend Jesse Jackson. The Reverend Jesse, well, they say he died at 84. We know that, right? So I knew him well long before becoming president. He was a good man with lots of personality, grit, and street smart. He was very gregarious, someone who truly loved people. Despite the fact that I'm falsely considered, Lord Jesus, Lord, that he didn't even have to do that. He didn't even have to say all this. If you the president, you know you are not a racist. If you feel that you know you're not a racist, why you gonna say this in a statement when somebody done passed? And especially this a black man. Now this is what Trump said. He was very, he was just saying what kind of person Reverend Jackson was. He said, despite the fact that I'm falsely and constantly called a racist by the scandals, Lord, this man ought to be shaming himself. I am falsely constantly called a racist by the scoundrels and lunatics on the radical. Oh, he called the Democrats lunatics, scoundrels. Lord have mercy. He said he being falsely constantly accused by the scoundrels, lunatics on the radical left, Democrats and all. It's always my pleasure to help Jessie along the way, Trump wrote on True Social Media. He had to put all that stuff down. He had to put all that on now. They used to be friends. Look at the pictures of them together. Yeah, I'm looking at some pictures now. But he had to put all that down. He just could have just said what he was going to say. He had to put all that little extra stuff in there. He said they calling him a racist. But this man, you should have just spoke on him. If y'all were friends, if Lord Jesus, he just took that opportunity to throw some shots at people. I can't with Trump. I can't with him. I can't. Oh boy. He wrote that on his social thing, whatever that thing he be on. So they said Jessie was a force of nature like few others before him. He continued, he had much to do with the election without acknowledgement or credit of Barack. What? Lord jeez. Let me read this again. Jessie was a force of nature like a few others before him. He continued, he had much to do with the election without acknowledgement or credit of Barack. Barack Hussein Obama, a man who Jessie couldn't stand. What? The C's Vanilla Star Search come on tonight on Netflix. What time it come on? I missed the first one. He said Trump said Jesse Jackson couldn't stand Barack Obama. Well, he was crying about him when they announced that Barack Obama won president. They showed Jesse Jackson out there crying. He was really crying. He was just happy. He was enjoying that a black man did win. All of them are the Epstein file. They are all corrupt. Yep, they are. Lord. Okay, Frank. See, he had to put all that stuff in there now. It ain't about him or Barack Obama. He just should have just said, just say some of the things that he was doing with Reverend Jesse Jackson. If they had a friendship, he could have shared a memory of that. He bringing up all that politics and stuff. But that Trump for you, Lord, he loved his family. So he couldn't stand said Jesse Jackson couldn't stand Barack Obama. I ain't never heard that before. A man who Jesse could not stand. He loved his family greatly And to them, I said, and that's all he could have said, y'all. He could have just said this right here. He said he loved his family greatly. This is what Trump was saying about, all right, people, mom, good to see you. I was just reading what Trump was saying about Reverend Jessie Jackson. He done brought up stuff by Barack Obama. He had to say all that. I don't think he could have just said this right here. I send my deepest sympathies and condolences to Jessie. Will be missed. President Donald J. Trump. Lord have mercy. He bringing up all that stuff out of Barack Obama. When you supposed to be, you the president. You is the president for everybody. Instead of you just sending your condolences, you in here talking about somebody calling you a racist. You in here talking about what Barack Obama did not acknowledge Jesse Jackson when he won the president. He bringing up all that stuff. Just should have just kept it simple, Trump. Just said, sorry for your loss. My condolences. Then he gonna say, Jackson and Martin Luther King Jr. protege, perhaps best known for his. Okay, this is what they saying about Reverend Jesse Jackson. He worked with Martin Luther King. So wow, I guess they'll be talking about that. That's all they do. They talk about politics. They talk about each other. But anyway, I just wanted to come on and share about Reverend Jesse Jackson. My mom used to talk about him a lot. Like I said, I used to like the way he talked. A lot of people used to be thinking the way he talked was funny, but that's just the way he talked. He was a preacher. When preachers, how they be talking right, they be having that little rhythm in their voice and that little tone. And I seen comedians make fun of him, but the main thing that he lived a life. He lived 84 years, and he did a lot. And there's enough for his grandkids and children to carry on his legacy. Hopefully they will. They knew what he stood for. They know what he didn't stand for. And hopefully everything will work well. My prayers go out to the Jackson family. And Reverend Jesse Jackson, you will be truly missed. You left a mark. Like he always say, keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. I am somebody. And we have to tell each other that every day, that I am somebody. You somebody for you, not for nobody else. Just always remember, you are somebody. Whatever you're doing out here for your life and whatever you're doing for your family, I salute you. Do it for you. You don't have to do it for nobody else. Like the things that I do, I'm doing it for me. I know when the doctor gave me that plan, I have to go by it with the exercise, the eating, and all that stuff, the vitamins. I know this is what I got to do for my health. If I have to throw away this, stop doing this, that's what I got to do. That's what I got to do. Shout out to everybody that's out there doing something to better themselves, is doing stuff for their families, is doing something for you. Shout out to everybody that's out here doing it. And continue to keep going. My hashtag 2026. Keep going. Keep going. Like I said, my year, the way it came in, I lost my mom a week before Christmas. But I know it's hard on me. There's not a day go by that I don't think about my mom. I could be to watch something on television, or I run across something that she really liked it, or if I be in the store and I see something that I used to buy, it always gonna be something to trigger me, go make me still feel the way I feel. I know she been gone almost 2 months, but it just seemed like it still seems like it's hard to believe. But I know she's in heaven. And I know she's watching over me. I get some, I do still get emotional, but I'm getting there. So I do want to thank everybody that did tune in. Like I said, tomorrow's Wellness Wednesday. I've been sharing things about heart health. And since I got to get things on track with myself, so I, be letting you know about some of the things that I got going on. And I probably do my little cardio while I'm live. But I tell you, I've been working those arms though, because it's sore all up in here. Because I've been doing these, I've been doing the punches, And if it be warm next week, I'm going to try to get in some steps with the walking. But I do want to appreciate everybody that did come through. Other than that, I'm finna get ready and go on and get on off. So we'll be probably seeing stuff about Jessie Jackson for the next. You know how when people pass, you're going to see about it. You're going to hear people talking about it for the next probably a few days up until they do his funeral. So y'all continue to stay blessed, stay encouraged, and always stay what? Prayed up. And until next time, bye-bye. And thanks for joining.